Hi, this is Hespera Hyman, and this is my EDL 856 case study on parental apathy. So the first category is the problem identification and analysis. When we look at the things that we do know about the case, we know that Miss Rose is a new assistant principal. She's only been on the job for about 4 months. There is currently no PTA or PTO organizations, although there has been an organization of parent involvement in the past. Miss Rose does have concerns about the lack of parental involvement in her school system. She has spoken with her principal at least 2 times, and on the second time in speaking with him, he has agreed for her to be able to set up a parent meeting, although he only wants it to be a parent advisory committee. The principal does have the feelings that the parents don't want to be involved with the school. He says that he has gotten that feeling through communication with community members and such. We also know that when Miss Rose sets up the meeting, they do send a note home with parents on a Friday requesting for the meeting on Monday. And unfortunately, when that Monday comes around, there are only 8 parents that show up. So they're kind of left wondering, is it even going to be worth it? So some of the things that I have thought about that I would need to know in this situation is, what are the demographics of the school? What are we looking at in terms of, do we have parents in the home that are working full time? Are they working shift work? Are we dealing with a lot of ELL students and a lot of EL parents? So, that's going to definitely change how you're going to set up your meetings and stuff. How long ago was that previous parent organization? What kind was it? And what caused it to disband? Was this because of lack of involvement from the parents? Was it something that happened with the district? We're just not really sure. What are turnouts in other events around the school? Extracurricular events, parent-teacher conferences? Do parents seem to be involved in those, or other community members? And how are teachers communicating with parents? It seems that, just sending a note home is not the most efficient way of communicating. So, my question would be, what other forms of communication are available? What are teachers using, and what are some that are being used throughout the whole school system? So the problem, as I see it, is that there is not currently any open communication that's going between the school and parents and the community. The secondary problem there is that I believe the principal feels that the parents are extremely apathetic. So category 2, my proposed plan of actions. So first, we want to continue with the current meeting. You can't get parents there for a meeting and then just go in and say, we're not doing it. Some things that I think need to be discussed is, why did more parents not show up? Was it because of lack of time? Was it because of, work? Did parents not hear about it? And then, use the parents that you have there to come up with a plan for another meeting. When would be a good time? What are some things we need to put in place? After that, I think there needs to be a very big discussion with the principal concerning what would a parent advisory committee look like to him? What does he expect the parents to be involved in, and what kind of roles he wants to see? I'd like to see the assistant principal and principal put together a survey to go out to all parents, kind of asking the questions: would they be interested in a parent advisory committee, explaining what that is? How do they prefer to receive their information? Do they want to receive it through text, email, social media, notes, radio? How do they want to receive it? When is the best time or day to have meetings? And what are some concerns that parents would like to see addressed? Some other things, so then next, we would need to send that parent survey out. It needs to go out in multiple ways. We want to make sure that we're meeting as many people as possible. We need to send out a mail out. We need to send out emails, make sure it's posted on social media. Let parents know that they can fill out copies at home or at school, put copies out in post offices or other community businesses that will allow us to put them out, and collect those back just as quickly as you can. I think once those surveys come back, then we need to have a meeting with the principal and go over what they have to say. And that will kind of lead your next game plan as far as, do we feel like that there is enough willingness to be involved for us to start continuing moving forward? I kind of feel like when you have even 2 parents that want to be involved, you need to use that resource. So my next step would be be to plan another parent meeting. We want to make sure we advertise it. We want to make sure that we give them plenty of time. And then it's really important that we set up ongoing communication with parents and the community. We want to make sure that we're letting them know things that are going on. We want to make sure that they are staying up to date with things that are going on with their students, things that need to be happening. And we can do this through newsletters, social media, parent meetings, in many different ways. So category 3, resolving the issues. When we look at how this will drive the success for all students, we know from the article we studied from the NSPAR that strong communication contributes to student success. When parents and student and teachers and administration are all on the same page, it's only a win-win situation for their students. We want to make sure that we are engaging parents and the community members in all areas of the school, not just in a meeting at 8 o'clock on Thursday nights. We want to invite them to our classrooms. We want to have them come in, be a part of maybe having an open house day, having parents come in and work with the teachers, set up and do some fun ag days or things like that. Have extracurricular days. And then, let parents help get involved with things that teachers or the building needs. We need to have a work day around the school, invite parents to be involved with their students. As I've said before, it's very important for success for our students that we keep communication open and ongoing. We need to be upfront and honest. We want to make sure that we are being proactive with our information instead of reactive. Category 4, my thinkings, feelings, and values. So some things that I was thinking about. I feel like that this situation is really not untypical of what we see happening in a lot of schools. Parents a lot of times become overwhelmed with just trying to make ends meet at home, that they have they send their kids to school with the understanding their kids are going to be taken care of and that their kids are receiving an education. And then they have their jobs to do. So I think parents don't always realize how much they are needed in the educational system. So, like I said, I don't think this is really untypical. We need to really understand that this process is not going to be resolved overnight. This is going to be an ongoing thing, and it's going to take a while to get people involved. Some people are going to start, some people are going to fall away, but you're going to have those core few that are going to continue on. And over time, that I hope will then build and build. We really, I really thought about, what caused the breakdown before in the parent organization. Was it because it was just parents and they weren't getting enough direction from the school? Was it because the school was directing everything? So, I would really like to know about those things and see what we could do to avoid that. So some of the feelings I had, I was definitely frustrated in reading about the principal's response and his unwillingness to really get involved. It felt like maybe that he might have tried something in the past, got shot down, and just didn't want to put himself out there again. And then, of course, you've got to be frustrated a little bit with the parents' response. When you only have 8 and you're really hoping for a good turnout, sometimes that can be unnerving and disheartening. And I just really feel like parent and community involvement is really important. The school should be the center of the community. They should kind of be the heartbeat. And, we should definitely have as many parents and community members involved with what's going on in our school system as possible. Some things that I really value about this, you really got to appreciate the parents that did show up. They're the ones that want to be there, want to be involved, and you just can't turn that away. So, even if you have 2, as I said before, that's 2 more than you had to begin with. So, you really need to take that and you need to run with it. And then the more I think that people see that working, the more they're going to want to be a part of. And then continuing to improve communication. You cannot stop. This is definitely one of those areas that once you start down it, you have to keep it ongoing. It's kind of one of those things, once you get it rolling, if you quit, then you are just leaving people stranded looking, thinking, okay, now what do we do next? So you definitely want to keep it moving forward. You can take information or ideas from the principal as maybe he sees this starts working, the parents, other teachers, and this I think can grow into a really great thing for the community. Some unresolved issues, it really doesn't talk about how teachers are communicating with parents. Is it a regular communication that they're having? How are they doing it? Sending a note home on Friday doesn't seem like the best way in this situation. You can't always guarantee that those notes are being seen. So, and then we really need to look at what is the best way to communicate to reach the most people. Does this require the school to purchase a free system, or to purchase a system to send out automated communication? Can we download an app that we can communicate to parents? And then how to change the principal's perspective. Right now, he really doesn't feel like parents want to be involved in the school. So what are we going to do to try to get him more on board with that? And then really, is this going to continue, and will more parents become involved, or is this going to flop? We just don't know at this point. So category 5, some evidence that I used. First, component 1 was student success, communicating information in as many ways as possible. Being able to reach out to as many people as possible leads to the success of our students, because we get to bring in more people to support and help them. By increasing parental involvement, we also increase the involvement that our parents have with our students. Our students are going to be at school. They're going to be more prepared. And then meeting with parents, here again, rolls back into that the more the parents are involved, the better our students are going to do. And looking at the well-being of our students, more parent involvement will bring the students and parents closer together. Sometimes parents feel like that they don't know how to help their students. They don't understand the new math, or the reading strategies weren't the same that they learned when they were in school. And we need to let parents know that that's okay. Sometimes it's just being there, look over it, say, yes, this is the right answer, or, you know what, let's go talk to your teacher about that. And that, I think, will bring the parents and the students a little closer. I think students, when their parents become involved, will feel like that they're more valued and that they matter, and the things that they do at school matter. And it's not a division between school and home, that they should kind of flow together naturally. And I really want parents in the community to have a better understanding of what's going on at the schools, so they can support the students even more. When we have that art show at the end of the year, just because little Susie doesn't have mom and dad that can come to the art show doesn't mean that her neighbors can't come and support her. So, getting that information out to everybody, not just our parents, but to the community as a whole, they can come and help support our students. So when I'm looking at how this affects families and our other stakeholders, parents and community will understand the school better and will feel a part of the environment. Like I've said, parents sometimes have a tendency to feel like they don't measure up with school sometimes, or they don't understand it. And so they will departmentalize it. So school will be in one section, home will be in another. But the more we can merge those two together, I think the better it will be for the family as a whole, and definitely for the student. We need to make sure, again, as I said, that communication is ongoing both ways. We need to be receiving information from the parents, and we need to be making sure that they're getting as much from us as possible. We definitely want to make sure we're working with our parents and our community to schedule meetings and events where the most people can attend. If people can't attend at Monday at 4:00 in the afternoon, then we need to find another time. Maybe it is a Saturday afternoon. Maybe it is a Sunday evening. Sometimes we have to kind of step out of those zones that we think this is our school time, this is our me time, and we kind of have to put ourselves out there so that we're available for as many people as possible. And this all will lead to the betterment of our students. Well, thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you enjoyed.